Hello and welcome to yet another TRC podcast where I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, Levi Gates.
We're all grayscale.
Yes, we are. I didn't really think about this. It just kind of worked out that way. And to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Got some TRC gear, got some Dixon, and a generic gray sweater.
You really let us down there, Dane.
Well, you know, it was a very comfortable one. It's very soft. I like it a lot.
All right.
It's just not branded.
What do we do?
We'll let you wear that.
So anyway, it's the podcast, but I wanted to, touch base with you guys who are watching this morning. Perhaps you didn't see what we did yesterday. I mean, I hope you did. But just in case you didn't, when we're done with today's podcast, if you haven't seen what we did yesterday, please, if you have any interest in microfiber towels, detailing stuff, anything like that, we did a tech talk yesterday.
I carpet bombed knowledge
on
this table.
Oh
Levi absolutely just laid waste to all of the questions.
Going, on fire.
Just
Oh my
can't
gosh,
stop.
the Master of Shines
They were
just
blown
dropping
away.
knowledge. And I was like,
Insane.
Where did this happen?
Thank you.
Where could this be seen?
In this room on this channel, because now the
Rag Company podcast channel.
YouTube channel has been getting a little bit of a kick in the butt. It's been growing. It's got some attention.
Wow.
We're building on it. And now you don't just have this main show every week where we kind of talk about our weekends, do some loosey-goosey stuff, kind of, develop that rapport, with you guys watching. We love, the connectivity there. But also, we'll be doing Q&As here from now on. So that's something to look forward to. And because of yesterday, I find it should be pretty fun to do more tech talks. I think that would be pretty cool.
that worked out pretty good.
So
it's nice having the boys in the studio.
Not like a consistent all the time regular thing, but like a once in a while thing when we feel we got a topic that's
I think people
got
really
some
liked
meat
it.
you can bite into. So I think that'd be good.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Levi, I can't help but notice how good looking that Dixon flannel is.
If only it had a button.
That it's missing a snap.
You got a little.
It's a damage to Dixon.
So that doesn't look damaged though. It looks perfectly
rare,
clean.
It's rare goods is what that is.
It's just completely missing. Like it was never put on.
It literally didn't get put on.
So that's a factory defect.
It is.
That makes it more valuable
it
and
does make it more
collectible.
I know. Well, and it's a factory defect that doesn't. I didn't even notice it until I had worn it like twice, and then I was like, "What the heck?"
I mean, it's cool. Asymmetry is
So
cool.
yeah, it
hilarious.
adds a little difference to it.
All right.
Anyway,
So a
housekeeping.
little bit of housekeeping here. So over the weekend, I'm sure many of you saw that we released some new products. Some exciting new products that we actually teased last Q&A Thursday. We gave you guys the ultimatum, right, on which product that you wanted to see unboxed and opened up at the end of that feed. And you guys made a good choice, but not the best choice, I think, in my opinion. So we ended up releasing 3 different products, which include the... Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I am. What is it?
Are you ready for it yet?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes. Bring it.
All right.
Drop
we
the hammer.
released the boob, the Blue Ultra Utility Brush.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a weird acronym.
It's a code B-U-U-B, right? And that has been, I mean, honestly, extremely
Internal
popular.
nomenclature.
Extremely popular. We were very excited to see how many people loved the look of the utility brush and wanted to basically jump in, put their hand on it, and start detailing, right? And on top of that, we also released, which I think is my favorite, the Wolf Pack.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
The Wolf
really
Pack microfiber towel.
There's something so magical about that towel. I will say to those of you that did purchase the Wolf Pack, and this is the one time Anthony and I are really, 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 really going to plead with you. Wash those towels first.
Yeah, you need to wash them.
Before you use them, please wash them before you use them.
Yep.
And the reason is you're going to have such a better experience with that towel.
Agreed.
It needs to be washed before you use it. And it's just in the processing and all that. It's we don't ask that with any other towels, but this towel, man, we really feel is special.
Yeah.
And like I said in the discussion yesterday, in case you guys were wondering, I saw a lot of people were posting going, "What is that? What is that fiber? Is it eagle?"
Yeah.
Well, they saw the country of origin as China, so they're like, that's not really it. What is it? And Anthony and I literally said, it's very similar. It's a hybrid weave, like if we married the eagle and the minx together. That's the best way we can explain it, because you have the softness, the feel, the fluffiness, the flop of the eagle with that spongy
Which I love about the
squishy
minks. It's
feeling
so
about the
unique.
minks.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect.
It's
with
very
that
unique.
butter soft suede edge all the way around. It's a nice towel.
Oh, yeah.
And that colorway is cool.
Yeah, no one else
love
is
it.
doing ones like that. So
So the Wolf Pack really was created we wanted to create a ready-to-go towel pack that provided a 70-30 blend towel that can do pretty much anything and everything exterior, but we wanted it to be unique, and we wanted it to be a different colorway than anything we've done, and then also we wanted to experiment more with custom borders and custom edges, and the
Printing
suede
on the
edge on
borders.
this has a wolf head. It's howling at the moon, right?
Yep.
That is calling on the the Master of Shine's detailing power.
It was very nice, and I liked that we picked that little wolf head. And it was fun when Nate would send us the designs of each wolf. Which wolf head do you guys want? And we had to pick the ones. But
Find the
the
right
other thing
fit.
is, you guys got to remember, like, our two best-selling products currently in the world is our red, gray, black pack, the RGB, as we call it, which is our terry towel in 3 different colors in a kit. And then the second one is our dark pack, our Spectrum dark pack. And that is our 420 Spectrums in a kit. And so we wanted to create the next level up of premium towel kit. How could we do that?
Yeah.
And keep it at a great price point for folks. And that's also one of the things that wolf pack really helps do is now if you're just starting out and you've got a cup and you've got the RGB kit and you've got the dark pack and you want to add that next step, that's what the wolf pack can do is give you that next level of performance.
Glossy Bear here. So you're going to use it on that job, it sounds like.
Yeah, have fun with it, man. Again, make sure you wash them first.
Wash them first. The reason why...
Even if it's just by hand, I mean...
The towels are extremely soft, right? Out of the package, you'll feel them. You'll go, wow, these feel amazing. But once you wash them, they grab product much, much better. Meaning that, like, the second you go for a detail spray or you go to use a sealant or let's just say you go to wipe off compound or polish, the towel will grab better after its first machine wash. And so preferably using Rags to Riches microfiber detergent. But yeah, it's probably one of the best bangs for your buck that we probably have. 9 towels, 3 different colors coming in at a little over $20. I mean, it's like,
crazy.
Yeah.
and for a 70-30 blend with a 70-30 edge, I don't think that there's really a whole lot of better options than that within that price range with the amount of the amount of perks that towel has, meaning that it's got the well-stitched edge, it's got the cool colors. But yeah, the brown's my favorite color, and it's really funny
too.
because internally here, there's a few people that were haters of the brown color.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Well, yeah, because
And
it's not one of the usual colors you're going to find on a detailing towel, but that's part of what makes it
They
special.
saw it and they go, ew, why would you want a brown towel, right?
Yeah.
And I said, dude, because it's different and it looks really good. This is a good
It's
color
almost like
brown.
it's almost like a coppery brown.
Copper.
Yeah.
It's
really
very
pretty.
coppery. And
Have you seen the browns they paint cars
And-
with these days? There's some cool ones.
they were like, well, why don't you just go with like a white, right? So you just have, white, gray, and dark gray. I'm like,
Oh,
white. I'm
cool.
like, no.
Not
I'm like,
exciting.
That's not exciting at all.
That's just snow
And
camo.
So the brown was definitely a test, but how successful that will be is really up to you guys. So we
Yeah.
hope that you guys blow it out of the water, and we hope you guys pick up a bunch of packs. But these
You
packs
guys determine
will
it.
come in the new TRC bags, which is really cool. So the branding is going to look spot on, and hopefully the experience from start to finish is great too. And so again, wash those. Next up, we have the Ultra Clay Scrubber.
Yeah.
And this was a baby of mine. I did not give birth to
Huck and Baylor Brown, Meridian Wolves.
It is. I did not give birth to the UCS physically. That's not something that I did. But I did obviously.
You did walk in and go, "What do you think about this?"
Yeah, I did
And I
walk in and
said,
said, "Here's an idea." And so we went with it. We created it. We went through, I think, about 10 different iterations of that clay scrubber until we finally got the thickness correct, and we got the Jersey bug scrubber material correct, and everything else was correct. But it is a 2-pack product, meaning you get 2 UCSs in one
I
pack.
had people texting me going, "Is that the wholesale price?
Yeah.
Did you guys put the wrong price on there because it's like so cheap?"
That seems low.
And you get 2 of them for that price? And I
Yeah.
said, yes. That is correct. That price is
And
right.
you're sure?
And then one guy did go, well, no, this is the whole thing. He sent me a screenshot. And he goes, is that price right? And I go, yes, but you have to buy a case. That's the individual case
Yes.
price.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, how much is a case? And I pulled the link, sent it to him. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't need that many of them.
I'm good, thanks.
So,
Yeah. So the UCS, again, this was actually, honestly, it would have probably been better to release this during the summertime. But when we were testing it, creating it, and trying to figure out where this product fits best, it was mainly as a bug scrubbing aid, right? So the idea was that in the summer, you would have bug guts on your car. It's going to be a pain in the butt to do. So the Jersey bug scrubber is typically what Levi would reach to grab first for knocking down bug guts, especially with O&R washes or even soap and water washes. But what if you needed to have a little bit more bite from something, right? Maybe if it was actually so contaminated that it was on the paint and you couldn't get it off with just simple agitation. It needed to be clayed off. And then that's when the idea came about where, okay, if you can't scrub it off, you can clay it off. But what we did is create a very mobile clay device that is exceptionally durable, just as durable
most
as...
people don't know, it's just as durable as the rest of the clay line, the Ultra Clay line. But what most people don't know is each one of those sponges, one side
has,
of the edge has the clay on it.
Yeah.
So that you can, if you need to do some finer
contour work,
you got that as well.
So what it really ended up coming out, I mean, that was the initial thought. So we thought initially thin thing, a little bit of clay on it, a little bit of bug scrubber.
It was basically a clay
Closer to
towel
what
with
the
a
regular bug scrubber
Jersey
is.
bug scrubber on the back.
And then it became, okay, let's make it thicker. Let's make it more ergonomic. Let's make it more comfortable in the
What
hand.
if we put a sponge in there?
Yeah, what if we put a thicker sponge in there? And so then it kind of became its own claying tool to where I promise you could clay an entire vehicle with just one of those sponges with no issues at all whatsoever. You could clay 100 vehicles based on the testing that people have done in the Ultra Clay towel that we've done and the Ultra Clay mitt and how long that synthetic clay lasts. I think each one of those sponges is going to last an insane amount of time.
At least 100 cars.
So you could have one as your dedicated decontamination clay scrubber.
Yeah.
And you could also have one as another one that lives in the bucket or during a wash that lives in the bucket, and you could pull it out for spot claying as needed. But the more we used it, the more we found other uses for it. Ultimate window decontamination. Holy crap, that thing is insane because a little bit of glass cleaner, a little bit of clay lubricant, you can scrub and clay that glass to perfection, essentially. I mean, I've been able to create the slickest, best feeling glass I've ever had with just that product alone. And it's so much more ergonomic than a clay bar where I'm sitting there, drop it, goes into the cowl. Oh my God, it's gone down in there. This is just, it's way more
and having that
comfortable.
rounded edge.
Yeah.
Also, you can get right up on the edge of those
of everything.
channels
Well,
and
I
stuff
saw-
where you
I
don't
saw
feel like
some-
you're stopping.
Commenters mentioned that they're like, oh, why didn't you make it shaped like the Pearl Puck or something? But you actually cover more area with it this way.
And that was one thing we had thought of. This is
It
just
crossed the mind, but it wasn't
but
what
with
the
clay.
ultimate
You want
decision
that.
was.
You want a hard point.
Yeah. You want a
And you
hard
need
point,
that sometimes,
and you
so.
also want it to have what's it called? Equal pressure points, right?
right.
When you're using a puck, right? There's always going to be some unevenness because of the way that it's rounded,
And that's
shaped.
okay for coating.
And it's okay
Yeah.
for coating, but when it comes to claying, right, and potential contaminants that
you
can
need
dig
more of a
deep
actual
into
spot
something,
rather
it
than
needs
that.
more of a flat surface. And
Using a
so,
lighter touch when coating.
in a nutshell, I think that UCS is going to be a huge hit, especially coming up on
Oh, it
summertime,
definitely should
especially
be.
coming up on people in Florida with the different
Love bugs.
love bugs,
Love
June bugs,
bugs.
whatever you want to call
Yeah.
them. I think that this is going to be one of the most useful tools that you could have in your bucket, or probably just in your detailing, arsenal in general.
Important question, though, and you guys may know or you may not know, but I'm going to ask because I've already seen several questions about it. Our friends in Europe, our friends in Canada want to know when they can expect to see
So-
these things.
Our friends in Australia, there's an order on the water.
Yeah.
Our friends in Europe, there's an order on the water.
Okay.
And our friends in the UK, there's an order on the water. So
In
that's
Canada as well?
Canada, I have
No
no
water
idea.
there, but-
There's no water, but it's on the way. There's
Okay.
all of our distributors, main distributors like TOC,
Yeah.
Clean Shiny, Rag Company Europe, and Car Care Co. are all have already all placed orders for product.
They were already moving before we.
And so
stuff
they have product on the way.
The hard part is once it reaches its given border or port, we don't have control over how long it takes.
And you got to remember, the hard part for us is we got it all shipped here. Yeah. Some of the items, if they were able to fit into a larger order in a container that was already going to like Rag Company Europe, then they were placed on that. We tried to get as many things as we could started so that they could get their order so that we'd be around the same time frame.
Sure.
For us, we were delayed in shipping. Yeah. We were supposed to have them at the beginning of the year. They've been sitting for 3 weeks at the port in Seattle before we were able to get them on a truck to get them to Boise so that we could do it. So the launch this weekend was fortuitous because we got them. They came in, we were able to get them in the inventory as quick as possible and get them launched. And that was part of our goal is we have these products sit for so long from when they're made to by the time they get here. We've paid for this order 6 months ago. Yeah. So we need to kind of recoup that money. And so a lot of it was we did a lot to try and get it as quick as possible here and in other parts of the world so you guys can get on it because it benefits everybody when we can use the same marketing for all of that stuff. Yeah.
So there you go, Keith, and everyone else who asked.
Yeah, so 3 products there. Again, the Blue Ultra Utility Brush, the Ultra Clay Scrubber, and the Wolf Pack Towel Pack. And I mean, all 3 of them are killer. I mean, they're all 3 things that we were really excited about, and it kind of just made sense to release them all at once because we don't do that too often, and it's something that we are like, okay, let's have fun with it. And the Wolf Pack, 100%, you guys got to grab it, you guys got to try it, and have fun with that. The Ultra Utility Brush, if you're not doing a lot of brush work, or if you don't have a convertible top, or if you're not wanting to brush wheels with that style of a grip or door jams or anything else, I understand that. I mean, but if you like the way it looks and you think you can find a use for it, 100%, it's going to be awesome. But I think between the 2, pick up the Wolfpack and pick up the UCS. Yeah. Done deal. Yeah. I mean, out of the 3, for sure.
The other question I saw was people asking, what do you use the Ultra Utility Brush for? Pretty much use it like the green body brush. Yeah. So exactly. Grills, wheels, cowls. It works great on convertible tops.
You just don't have to worry about a big old handle sticking out.
Yeah, around windows. I always like using a brush around windows. Just to get some heavier agitation that I normally don't get.
But be gentle at the same time.
Yeah, but enough that you got to remember there's so much ingrained dirt that sits in those channels and things that most people don't.
I'm saying the flag tip nylon is gentle.
It is.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm stressing is when you do it.
Gentle,
it's not like taking a broom to your car's paint or anything like that.
But
you're fine.
Yes, but that's so. But that's what I like. I like those brushes to be able to get that kind of gunk out that you normally don't get with just a mitt. You're going to get it with a mitt if you've got a clean car. Yeah. But I'm used to cleaning cars where people just don't clean their cars.
This gets in between the trim kind of overhang you get there with the little sneaky part where every little leaves to just slip under
100%.
there. Drives me crazy. But with that, you could actually get the bristles underneath and break them out.
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go.
I do like that Miller Detailing says the brown color is literally what made me purchase the towels. I mix up the color. I think it's an exceptional color to mix up the color contrast of all the other colors.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, that's very true.
Agreed.
So I think that's pretty much it in terms of housekeeping. We're obviously continuing to film more fun stuff, and we have more stuff in the plans for next month as well. And we have a couple. Actually, we have another pretty big drop that'll be coming. That I think will be maybe a mic drop. What would it be?
It could be a mic drop.
We don't actually I don't like to make the mic drop.
No, we
found
that
can actually. But it's gonna be. We've got some other stuff up our sleeves, and we're excited for you guys to check this stuff out and see it. Some things to remember, real quick, just to go over also. Yeah. Mobile Tech Expo next week.
Ooh, you'll be there
from Thursday to Saturday. Mobile Tech Expo this year.
Levi will be signing autographs.
I will be. Come by the Right Company booth, and I'll be signing autographs all week. I'll bring a pen.
Bring my own pen.
I'll bring my own pen, so don't have to worry. But yeah, the biggest thing is make sure if you're coming, come say hi, come check it out, see what you got. If you haven't seen the Wolfpack, the UBS, the clay scrubber, or the brush. we'll have them on the booth so you can check them out and you can see them. The other thing, so come see us at that. Yeah. And then get ready because TRCMA this year is coming. It'll be the first week of April. For those of you wondering, when's TRCMA coming back? It's the first week of April. We're in the process of planning the show and getting all the confirmations of all the different brands.
It's a regular thing now.
This is going to be a good show. We're excited for all of you guys to be able to tune in and watch and enjoy. And then this year we do have a lot of other training events. We've got currently, if you go to Avery Dennison's website for if you just type in color change Avery, wrap training on their website, you can find the dates. My goal is to create an events page on the Rag Company website so that you guys will know exactly. But right now we have 4 dates. So there are 3 color change classes that are going to be happening this year and 1 tint class. And those are all a fee. They're about $900 a class. Yep. But you can sign up on Avery Dennison's website, pay the money. Not only will you get free product from Avery Dennison, you get tools and equipment plus the class.
So really the cost of the class goes towards a lot of
you literally get $900 worth of stuff back. So it's a win-win. So if you've been interested in wanting to do tint like myself, I'm very excited for that class. It's happening in May. Sign up. If you're excited to do color change, we've got 3 classes scheduled. We're also going to be working with 3M this year.
Okay.
3M has given us 2 dates. They haven't picked the dates yet, but 2 dates, one for commercial wrap and one for what we call Design Your Ride class.
The Design Your Ride class.
We haven't had it for a couple of years. The Design Your Ride class is really great if you're just wanting to get into vinyl wrap and you don't want to do a lot, but you want to maybe learn how to do hoods, do mirrors, shapes. You can do racing stripes. You can create basically everything you need without a plotter. Mm-hmm. And it's an additional add-on for those of you that are running a detail shop or a business. Mm-hmm. And maybe you've had customers go, hey, can you wrap my roof? Yeah. And you go, gosh, I don't even know how to do that. Or you've got customers go, can you wrap my hood? Or what if I wrap my mirrors in carbon? Or,
a lot of it is ways to do stuff without having to need a pre-cut, kind of thing for you. It's how to be self-sufficient, how to learn that
and
skill
make a couple $100
totally do a great job.
Make a few extra $100 on a job.
Pocket change,
walk
around money.
That's right, beer money. So that's kind of the goal of that class. So again, as soon as I have those dates, we'll be getting them out. And my goal, like I said, is I do want to have hopefully by February, I'd like to have a events page, which will have all the links and everything that you could, that way you could just click on it, see what the event is, go and sign up and do it. But if you want to do some of those right now, Avery Dennison's training website has all those dates available and you can pay for them now if you want. Yeah. So those are some of the big things. We also have a paint correction class.
Ooh.
The first week of May.
Wow.
That's going to be banging Taki's money, according to Alex Duar. So,
good job, Duar.
And that is with Lake Country and Dr. Beasley's.
Oh man!
So that is going to be a really cool.
Stomach hurts thinking of that.
That's gross.
We haven't done anything with Dr. Beasley's.
No, we've never done anything. So we've got the guys from Lake Country are coming and Chris from Dr. Beasley's.
Nice.
They're going to be teaching a 3-day paint correction class, and again, that is going to be a paid class. So I was working on that this morning, getting all the info to Chris so that we could get that started so he could build it out, create the link, and we'll put that also on our website so you guys can sign up if you're interested in that. So our goal this year is to try and have a lot more training events here at the Rag Company.
Expand our offering
for you guys to be able to come do this and learn. So without further ado, that was the biggest thing. I just needed to get that off my chest. Waxstock tickets just went on sale today.
Yeah.
No way.
There is a discount if you buy early bird tickets right now.
So that you're saying not for us because we're
not for us because we're going, but
we're guaranteed.
But for those of you that aren't exhibiting like us, the tickets just went on sale. So if you go to Waxstock website, it's got
and you can also
10% off.
Book your room, right?
It's gonna be
book
bigger
everything.
Than ever.
It's
Coventry.
It's at the same place.
Still at the DoubleTree Coventry.
I'm just
Arena.
letting everybody know if you're looking to have the time of your life and you want to come hang out, stay in the same hotel as us, right?
It's
Eat
fun.
the same breakfast.
It's
as
2
us.
days this year.
Yeah,
Right?
they expanded.
Gamble in the same
Casino as
weird
us.
casino as us.
That's weirdly
very
accurate,
nice.
is what it is. It's just like Vegas.
this is pretty much your sign and your chance to do it. I mean, is Coventry beautiful? Not necessarily. But is the
I think the people from Coventry
vibes
would even tell you that.
are the vibes
Yeah.
good? Yes, the
vibes
vibes
are
are great.
Triumph is just 20 minutes away.
Which
Yes.
honestly,
You want to go again?
He wants to go again. It was a great tour.
Why wouldn't we? It
was.
was literally 20 minutes away.
It was an
20 minutes
excellent
away.
tour, followed by a very sketchy Uber ride
A
back.
great shopping section.
I would love if there was a day that Levi could plan, which I'm sure he could, where we had a little bit of extra time one day where we could fit a Triumph tour into it, and we get to tour it with some of our other friends in the industry.
Oh, that's a great idea. If
How
we set it
fun
up,
would that be?
So we would have to plan it. We would have to announce it probably a month in advance.
And we'd have to set up
Field
with
trip.
Triumph, right?
And we'd
Oh,
set it up with
man.
Triumph to make sure everybody got their tickets because they only take a certain number of people.
Right.
No.
So,
How sick would that
but
be,
that
though?
is a possibility.
Like we could pose next to the speed triple from Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Right? You could pose with me.
You
right?
could with All Day Anthony.
Yeah.
What a treat.
Yeah. you could pose with Dane next to probably some weird obscure bike that like should
Dude,
never
you
been
know
made.
I'm going for the Scrambler.
Yeah. And then we could also go shopping for
could, yeah, we could all get our own
upstairs for
outfits.
memorabilia.
I have to say though, like as far as the tours go, that one actually had some really fascinating details, and
We
the
got
guy
to
was
tour the
incredibly
entire
knowledgeable.
factory.
And one of the
Oh,
coolest
right.
things for like us fellow paint nerds and such, you get to go through their paint shop and see how their process works.
That was amazing.
and get to meet like
Yeah.
the people who did the pinstriping, like very specific things. It was fascinating.
Yeah, it was wild to see. So that's something that. So this year, Waxstock is a 2-day event. So it's going to be a afternoon early bird on Saturday, and then all day Sunday. So what we would probably do is do the Triumph Museum on that Saturday morning.
So this is my sorry.
Oh,
show and
dear.
tell. This is my jacket right here. I've had this for quite a few years, right?
Yeah.
The inside of it is pretty sweet.
It
But
used
one
to be
thing
white.
You'll notice here, Levi. What do you see there?
You got your pin.
Oh,
pin.
the pin.
So apparently these pins are like collectible, but I got it at the museum. The guy's like, "Hey, this is like
Yeah.
this was a lucky one." He's like, "We don't make it anymore."
Yeah.
He's like, "But you can have it because you came all the way from Iowa." And I said, "Idaho," and he goes, "Yeah, whatever."
Same difference.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, so I put this pin on here, and I want to get a few more.
Yeah.
Because this is a sick jacket to patch out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's what it's for.
Or if I want to get more pins on it. So
It's clearly designed for
Anyway.
just such a purpose. I was going to say, before we move on to our weekends, I just wanted to make sure we answer this one quick question. Because InFocus had asked.
Nope, they're not.
There you go. That's the answer.
Same,
Simple as that.
same
about the same. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
they're
the
not
same
much.
length.
So, to those who are only listening and can't see, InFocus Photography asks, are the bristles longer on the new brush compared to the green nylon brush?
They're about the same, but because the handle is a different hold, you're
Yeah.
able to utilize those bristles a little bit more and be right over the top of them,
Yeah.
rather than being on a side. if
Yeah,
that
you can
helps.
more pinpoint what it is you're doing.
And then a quick question here from Janka's Detailing says, "Hello TRC, always nice to follow your podcast from
Hey.
Northern Norway.
Wow.
Thank you
Greetings."
for the follow. That's awesome. Nice to know we got some friends up
Hi,
in
hi.
Norway.
From
We're
a
building
true
on it.
Viking.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hello. Hi. So,
Hello.
early 10 is the offer code. You go to Waxstock's website, use early 10, you'll get 10% off your tickets, and it just launched today. So,
How much,
get
are,
in.
how much are tickets?
Love that
I don't
show.
know. Should we check and see?
Well, I mean, we don't know if they're like $800. Oh, that's a little
Don't know.
But it's a 2-day event, though, guys. Which
Yeah, it's
this is what
Waxstock.com.
It's never been that before.
it's never been that, and we've
is the first time
always
it's
wanted it to be
expanded.
2 days. So it'll actually feel like it'll feel like
More
like
of
true
a
event.
trade show event.
So
Because
let me
before
see.
it felt
Buy
like
tickets.
one day
So
only. Boom. it's
Go to
done.
waxstock.com. Tickets are, currently, let me see here. It's a couple different pricing.
Oh.
15 pounds to 65 pounds.
Okay, that's pretty
A lot.
affordable.
It's not a lot. It's
true,
a difference. Parking's free. Got kids. It's not a kids event. You got to be 14 or older. Top 16 showdown entry and selection.
I'm submitting
There's
my card for
because
that.
it's a 2-day event. That's what's happening. So that's why there's early access day, which is Saturday the 22nd, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then the main day is that Sunday the 23rd.
And you never know who's
of
going to be there.
July.
Jim White from White Details
Yeah.
could be there, right? I always say could because we never really know for sure. But Jack from Stair on a Glass,
Yep.
he's going
All
to
right,
be there.
here we go.
right? Darren, the Hairy Horse
Darren, the
Wife,
Hairy
Yes.
Horsewife, will be there.
will be there.
We got
So
Specky, we got Golden.
weekend general admission. So both days, tickets are currently $37.50 plus a $7.50 fee. but that gets you both days.
What a great deal.
Yeah,
It's a great
if you
deal.
want to do just the Saturday early evening, which is 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., it's 20 pounds 83 with a $4 or 4 pound VAT, and then just Sundays is $20.83 or 20 pound 83.
It's very reasonable,
with that
actually.
4. So not bad at all.
Yeah.
Really reasonable. And then if you want to put your car in, Showdown indoor car entry to compete, then it's 55 pounds with a $10 VAT or 10 pound VAT. So not too bad. Really reasonable. You can do a lot. And if you use early 10, you get 10% off.
Yeah, and I'll probably tell John at Clean and Shiny that like a special catchphrase. So maybe if you go and say that special catchphrase, maybe he'll give you like one stale gummy, right?
Just
That'd be
one.
nice.
John-
Or maybe we
John
do something
knows-
with like a red air freshener.
Oh, boy.
John knows my love, or the famous
You get a
Clean
red
and
air
Shiny
freshener.
red air freshener.
Those
which-
air fresheners are the coolest.
no, that's the best. It's actually pink. It's not really red. It's like a pink one, but
But it's cool.
those air
It's
fresheners
just
are the
cool.
loves of my life, other than my family. And
But that show is in July, so we just wanted to give you guys an early heads up to come over there. That would be even better too.
Oh, no.
I would
'Cause
do
There
it.
are a lot of great bathrooms
I
at
would
the
do
Coventry
it.
Arena.
I would do it for you guys if that's what was necessary.
Oh, man.
All right, so
Jeez.
let's jump into some actual
Let's do
weekends
it.
because I have a feeling that this, but despite all of the housekeeping we had to do, I think you guys are really gonna like this episode.
What gives you that impression?
I don't know.
Well, it's definitely one of your stories because mine's short.
No, mine's. I mean, I have some pretty good stories.
Okay,
but
good.
anyways, we're starting off with Levi first.
Yeah, I didn't submit any photos or pictures, so I'm really sorry
Oh.
about that. But so my weekend was pretty simple. Friday, back at home, hanging out with the kids, just chilling, relaxing. Justin Andrews,
Yeah.
Wash Wednesday, Factor 55.
Oh,
Justin
yeah,
Andrews
yeah,
with the
yeah.
Jeep dropped off Saturday morning. Dropped off his wife's SUV
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
for me to detail. Thankfully, it was pretty clean, so I didn't have to do a lot. Just did the interior on it. It hadn't been washed. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I think I spent longer washing the car than I did on the whole detail itself.
Really?
It was so full of just dirt and oxidation. And I offered to buff the car for him, polish it out. He was like, she just needs some protection on it.
Not what they're
Not
looking for.
anything, she barely washes it, just whatever you can do. So
That part's obvious.
so I did a heavy duty wash. Then I did pulled it in, cleaned the interior, the carpets and the seats, just steamed them up, cleaned the door panels, dash, all the stuff. They have a baby, so she's kind of been,
Okay.
she's about 2. She's kind of making a mess back there. But surprisingly, I was really impressed. They kept that thing pretty clean. So got that car finished that night, got the interior all cleaned up and ready to go so I could hang out with the kids. And my goal was, Carly had asked, hey, I'm going to go out with some friends. They got an Airbnb. I want to go hang out with them. And I said, no, not a problem. You can do that.
Sure.
And
But I mean, in town, right? Airbnb in town.
yeah, pretty much,
Okay.
in a sense.
Yeah.
So I said, not a problem. She goes, but tomorrow, let's take the kids on Sunday. Let's take them to go see the new Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
I said, that's a great idea.
'Cause you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
We'd take them to see, but it's available on streaming. Where would you go?
We would go to a dollar theater, Dane.
Oh,
Overland Park Cinemas.
okay.
Dane,
Okay.
it's a true Boisean experience.
That's the move.
at the Overland.
I saw
Cinemas.
Anchorman there.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I have a
So-
lot of stories. I mean, of different movie theaters.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
So, especially that left theater, the white theater,
Yep.
the white room as it's called. So anyway, so I said, well, they haven't seen the first one. And she goes, well, you could watch it with them. And I said, well, we'll see how that goes. So as I'm making dinner, Carly leaves to go to her friends and hits a deer.
Oh my God!
Wow, just like that.
Just jumps out. She
Oh,
said
dear.
it committed suicide.
Yeah,
She was rocking out to some music, driving,
whack.
deer popped out.
Jeez.
She was like, holy crap.
No time to react.
No time to
nothing.
react.
Yeah.
Just hit the deer.
Oh.
Calls me up, says, hit the deer. Here's where we are. She's close to the house.
Okay.
So she gets the car to the house.
Close to the house. In Oregon.
Not your house, but the Oregon house, right?
just
yeah.
close to the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we get to she gets it there. I say, send me a video. Sends me a video of the car. I'm like, holy cow. I'm worried about the car getting back home. Oh, I guess my phone's talking.
So
Siri
how
has
bad
some
was the car?
opinions.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So
Buckled hood.
It thankfully didn't crack any of the windows.
Okay.
Hit the front of the
kind of
car, hit the headlight, hit the hood, hit the front bumper, hit the grill, basically the entire front corner of the passenger side.
Yeah.
Gone.
Blown out.
Yeah, no PDR here.
So so the next morning I call her and I said, look, I can get our insurance to tow the vehicle back home.
yeah.
And she goes, I might drive it. And I said, I'm worried. All the sensors are
Yeah.
disconnected and broken.
Or you might not have any radiator
Or you might
fluid.
not have any radiator fluid because I asked you, is there anything dripping from the bottom? She goes, no, everything's fine. So,
leaked out right there on the spot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Seeing
So-
the picture, it does not look good.
so I said, okay, but it's on you.
Diamond
if it
Protect does
dies-
not protect against ear strikes.
Diamond Protect. I will say
It
this.
protects
I
against
sent-
almost everything
I sent
else.
Anthony the video, and he goes, "I'm impressed. The hood is buckled that much,
But it still looks
and
good.
and there's only like 3 rock chips
yeah.
in that hood that's completely folded almost in half.
Insane.
That Diamond Protect is remaining flexible on that surface.
Flexible and
It flexed
strong.
with the
That's
damage.
flexible
yeah.
and
That's the
strong.
benefits of a diamond coating right there.
Not
It
that everyone's going out
literally-
testing it that way, but
It still looks great, and
Yeah.
that's the impressive thing. That deer just slid right off.
Yeah. I mean, it did. And then slid off.
minimal
So-
blood and guts. So we're good there.
Thing is that
Poor thing.
so she goes, I'm gonna drive it home. I said, all right. It didn't make it home. It just the motor shut it off.
Yeah.
So one of her friends gave her a ride back home. Took me an hour and a half to contact the insurance company to literally get them to just send a tow truck
Yeah.
to get the car. I had them tow the car to the body shop. Body shop is some friends of ours. They use Rag Company towels.
Oh, good.
And so I dropped it off there, called Kevin, the manager there, and said, hey, buddy, that's my car out in the parking lot. My wife hit a deer. Tell me what we need to do. So yesterday he stopped by to pick up 3 cases of pearls. And because that's what they use in their body shop are orange pearls.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm at 6,000 right now, but I'm only at 40% of what the car's worth, according to their computer.
Yeah.
And he goes, so I'm hoping they don't total it.
Yeah.
And the worry is that they total the car and I then have to argue and fight with them. But here's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. Can neither confirm nor deny. So
Thank you for clarifying.
the funniest thing is that like Carly wants her car back.
She doesn't want
Any other car. And I
Just that
literally
Camry.
said, like, you could probably get a new car. Or, her mom said, I could help you get a new car, blah, 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 blah. Carly's like, I don't want any other car. Like, I like that car.
car.
That's my car. It's like when Dane's going to hit a deer in his Flex.
Yeah.
He won't want another car.
Don't you put that evil on me,
he is
Ricky Bobby.
in love with that Flex.
Yeah.
Right? It is a Dane car.
Yeah.
And for at least the next 6 months before he finds
yeah.
something else. But so we'll see. We're in a weird situation with the car. However, during that evening, I was able to watch that night with the kids. They sat down and watched Top Gun. Augie cried
Oh, wow.
when Goose died.
The first Top Gun.
Yeah. When Goose died. Felt bad. Felt very bad. I told him, Og, when I was your age, I had the Top Gun soundtrack
Yep.
on cassette. Yeah. And I would listen to it.
Kenny Loggins
1988.
rocking out.
1988, I'm listening to that in my little blue cassette player that I had at home. Yeah. And I was like, this is the best soundtrack. And then I'd watch Top Gun in the back of my dad's pickup at the drive-in movie theater that is now Lithia Ford.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
that's
what
where
that
I
used to
watched
be.
that movie.
Well, as being a Gates family, of over
residents of
over 800
Boise for
years.
over 800 years.
That field used to be Old Man Motor View Cinema.
Yeah.
That's what that
on
was.
Fairview?
On Fairview and Maple Grove.
Yeah.
It's all car dealerships.
It was a
now.
three screen cinema with the drive-in in the back.
Was there concessions?
There was concessions.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great. We
don't
pulled
make
in
them
the
like
back
that
of my
anymore.
dad's 70. It was his 76 yellow square body,
Yeah.
long bed step side
Oh, perfect for a group of people to watch from the
with
back.
a roll bar, bright yellow, lemon yellow, and then he put 2 lawn chairs, cooler, and then a bunch of sleeping bags and pillows for me and my sister. Dropped the tailgate down, and we sat back there, and they had sandwiches and snacks and stuff, and we watched the movie and just set the speaker on the side of the truck.
If I was alive back then, I'd be right next to you in a Subaru Brat in the back
There
with
you
the
go.
rear-facing seats.
Okay,
It's right for the time period.
And a mullet.
And a mullet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like, who's this old guy sitting next to us? His name. But yeah, so we, the title is Struck. That is a great one, Alex.
Truck, man.
So anyway, we did that. My mom, though, this is the funny thing. My mom had borrowed the car on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
My car, the Elantra.
Yeah.
She goes, I need to borrow the Elantra because her car's in the body shop also at Peterson Auto Body getting fixed because she got in a wreck.
That's going to take forever.
And she goes, hey, I had to turn my rental car back in
Yeah.
because I'm out of a car now. I need to borrow your car so I can go grocery shopping. I said, not a problem. Sunday morning, I had to call her back and go, hey, so I'm going to need that car back. She's like, why? I was like, because Carly got in a wreck. So I had to clean out. So Sunday, we ended up taking the kids. Carly got home. We got ready, took the kids to go see Top Gun Maverick. They sat through the movie, thankfully, and watched it. They bounced around a little bit.
So you went to the Overland.
Went to the Overland Park Cinemas.
Yes.
Overland Park Cinemas. Okay, we got to give
Lot
a
of memories there.
little bit of background.
A lot of
Overland
memories.
Park
It's
Right
Cinemas.
next to the Eagles Lodge.
Okay. Overland Park Cinemas. When I was saying I've had a lot of experiences with dollar theaters, it's because I have.
Boise had a few of them.
Boise has a lot of dollar theaters.
So I saw
3 to
Benji
5 of
Far
them,
From
if I
Home there
recall.
when it was a real theater.
Yeah.
And then I saw Anchorman there when it was premiered.
Yeah.
There because my friends were like, we're going there because it's more fun. And I was like, we can go to Edwards, which is literally a mile
Like
down,
a
half
higher
a mile
quality
down the road.
screen and all that,
This
but no.
monster theater, or we
So
go to this little
the
tiny
Overland-
3
For
theater.
the experience.
That cinema, this dollar theater. I mean, guys, when I was in high school, this was a janky theater. I mean, like you would go
Yeah.
there, like the seats were either torn, but they're really close together. But everything was cheap, literally like $1.
It was
$2.
everything was
yeah,
different.
it was a true dollar
Like,
Even the
theater.
concessions
You walk
were
in,
cheap.
it's $1. You get a popcorn, it's $1.
And half the
then
time
go
they'd
and
hand
sit
you a
down.
can of soda.
Yeah, I mean, it
a
was
can of
a
purple.
cool experience because it was, kind of janky, but at
You'd
the same
spend
time-
$20. You'd
No,
spend
you'd spend more than that.
No, but up at Edwards for just for yourself.
Oh, yeah, you'd
if
spend
it was just
$20.
for yourself, you'd spend $8 on a ticket, and then you'd spend
$12
on concessions. And so you're like, let's just go here because I can spend like $5 and get a crap ton of.
By the
food
time you
and
leave, you spent
snacks.
$50 on one person.
But
Yeah.
the Overland Park, what I like about it is the parking lot itself
Yes.
because I go, this is old.
Yes.
This is old Boise.
Yep.
So when was that theater actually cool as a resident of 800 years here in Boise?
That theater was really cool in the late 70s, early 80s
okay.
because
Sounds
that
right.
whole shopping center had just been developed. And you got to remember the freeway passed through, but it wasn't the way it was. It literally just had an overpass to the other side where Wild Waters and a couple things were.
Yeah.
But that was all farmland out there. So that was like really pretty much the edge of Boise.
Yeah.
And so it was easy to get through because you could just hop off the freeway
Sure.
and get there, or it was right close to the mall. And at the time, the mall had just built the new Cineplex Odeon,
Right.
where the PetSmart is now.
Yeah, that used to be its own.
The other old theater that was built during Overland Park days was the Brunel Tire on Vista.
Yeah.
That was a theater.
I did not know that.
So that was an original. That was the
one I
Vista
definitely didn't know.
theater, and that was a 3-screen or 2 or 3 screens similar to the Overland Park.
Crazy. So you guys went in, you got in, they've upgraded the seats apparently, right?
Yeah, they put really nice seats in the place. So this is the kind of place that if the 3 of us bought a movie theater,
That's
Yeah.
that's
that
what we would
be
do.
our move.
We would
Yeah.
turn it into that because it's decorated simply but effectively. It's muted tones. Mm-hmm. It's got a couple fun games. The one game that it has are some of those free claw machines that play until you win a candy.
I love that.
And Fast and the Furious driving
Oh, that's
game
one of the best
from the
ones.
first movie.
Yes.
It's the best one.
Right? So it's like, oh, that's nice. And it's got a rope around it, like to make it feel like more VIP.
It's exclusive.
Right.
Well, and if we had our own, let's just say hypothetically speaking, I don't know what the name of our movie theater place would be, right? It would be something
We
cinemas.
call it Lad Cinemas.
Lad Cinemas, right?
Yeah.
I would keep my wings readily available, right?
There
So
would be
if
a
you wanted
kitchen
to order Tony's
24/7.
wings and berries, right,
Yeah.
as part of your experience there, that's something you could do. Or Levi's famous
kettle corn and peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say it's the what's it called, the PB&J, the air fried.
Oh yeah. Oh, we could be doing some air fried Uncrustables.
Oh my God,
Uncrustables.
that's one of the
And we'd be
best.
serving Pepsi products. Fine Pepsi products.
And don't worry, you can trust because they'll make it right in front of you at the counter. You can watch them do it.
Uncrustables, hot wings, berries imported directly from Emmett, Idaho.
Delicious.
Genetically modified,
Yeah, of
extremely
course.
genetically modified. And then I don't know what Dane.
And then we'd put 3
Dane,
movies
What are
in.
you offering in terms
Oh,
of
I'm offering you know how they have at the Flicks where they do the staff will write their own reviews for the movies
Yes,
and things like
yes.
that.
Dane's
I will
movie
do that
reviews.
for all the movies that
I
we
like
play,
that.
and you will get the most pretentious, just
I
exhausting
like
thing
this
to read.
movie, but it didn't
There'll be
pair
a
well with
playbill.
the Uncrustable.
I will write up a playbill for every single showing
Okay,
that
I like
people
that.
can then take in with them and see what they're about to experience.
As long as it's like I want a large stand-up
Yeah.
of Dane.
So, like, you have a customer walking through a theater. They walk into theater 6 and they go, "Oh, sorry."
There's one chair in front of a giant screen,
They open it,
and I have a
"Oh,
camera in my
sorry."
face. I turn around like occupied.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Too funny, man.
But yeah,
How'd
so
they like the movie?
They loved it. It was great, and so it's hard because
Did
Carly
they
and I
enjoy
were,
the second one a little more than the first one because the action was greater, or was it kind of the same?
Augie said that he liked it. He didn't have any problems with it. Hadley liked it, so that was
Okay.
that was it. It was simple, easy, and we didn't have any problems there. So then we walked out, and there was because it's next to a game store,
Right.
all about games. They had a Pokemon wall thing, and so the kids had to get a picture in front of that. And but yeah, no, it was free kettle corn, 3D glasses, and Pepsi beer hat. Augie. So I came home last night. Augie had his beer hat on with 2 Diet Mountain Dews stuffed in the top of it, and he was sucking it down.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was just gulping it down, and I was like, "Slow down there, Fuller."
Yeah.
Like he had the 2 Diet Mountain Dews, and Carly goes,
dear.
"That's 4 and 5 that he's had so far
Oh,
today."
wow.
Okay. That's,
And Augie was like, "No, I've only had 1," and I'm like, "You have 2 on your head right now. You
Yeah.
can't tell me you only had 1." Anyway,
drawing a hard limit.
so it was a good Sunday to be
Okay.
able to do that and just hang out.
Sure.
Then we went and picked up the Elantra from my mom, brought it home, and then I cleaned the Elantra, did a quick vac, steamed the seats, cleaned all the door panels.
that
got all
bad, was it?
No, but I got all my garbage out of it.
Okay.
Carly's gonna be driving the car for like 3 months.
Sure.
So it's just the kind of thing like if you had to give Liz the Jag to drive for 3 months.
Yeah, she'd be terrified.
You'd get your stuff. You'd try it, but I mean, let's say she wasn't.
Yeah.
You'd have like just your stuff,
Yeah.
like door pocket things. Like
Yeah.
you'd go, let me just get my
There's
stuff
like
out."
regular strategic items. Like
Yes.
I always leave a warm jacket in the back of each car I have just in case something
Right,
happens. You just
exactly.
got, like a little roadside kit, basic stuff. Not
Yeah.
that it ever happens, but you like being prepared.
Agreed.
So,
So,
and like a can of air freshener,
but I like to get like the stuff because like it's,
Yeah.
like if Katie was driving one of your cars that she could, if she couldn't drive the 4Runner, right? Like how much stuff is in any of your cars that you wanted to get out because she's going to move in to that car.
Yeah, she's driving the Civic,
There's nothing in my cars.
I know, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
What does she have that she lives in with the
In
4Runner?
the 4Runner? Oh, there's a lot in the 4Runner.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
There's like 4 different bags. There's blankets. There's like 5 different water cups.
Yeah, but that's
There
what I mean.
is
Like
a whole center console.
she's gonna
full
move
of
in.
money.
Torn out
And
straw
sometimes
wrappers.
I open up and what are all these bills in here? What are these? Like you just have
A lot of
money sitting
receipts
here.
to random
I'm like, you need to
things.
put this away.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's just like pocket change for in case I go through a drive-through.
Just in case.
And so yeah, her car.
but she would move in to, let's say she had to drive the
Yeah.
Civic.
Oh man, I would literally have to like.
You would go
I-
crazy, right? Because she would move in.
No.
So that's what I had to do.
It's-
I had to clear out my stuff
Yeah.
so that she could move into the car.
No, I'd give her the
basically.
truck.
Right.
You know
old,
what I mean?
Old
No.
tenant moves out,
I
new
would-
tenant moves
I
in.
would give her the bed of the truck.
I know you would.
So
You'd buy a tonneau.
It's
You would
not-
buy a lockable tonneau
I
cover.
would go
Oh
and
my
buy a tonneau
God.
cover, or I would buy the old man. What's it called? The camper.
Oh, yeah.
What are those things
Shell.
called?
I'm
A shell.
genuinely surprised you haven't gotten one of those
Dude,
yet.
I think a shell on that truck would actually go hard. Even
That
though it
makes
does
the
look
old
like a
man
little
spec
old
way
man.
stronger.
You could get a nice one.
But
Yeah.
with the lift and the wheels and tires,
I think it would look
it'd
good.
look pretty badass. Maybe someday. But,
Yeah,
you know,
but
I'd
that's
give her
what I
that.
mean.
I'd
She would,
say-
because she would move in.
Well, and I would say,
There'd be water bottles and all kinds of stuff.
and I would just tell her, I'm like, hey, you can throw whatever you want in here.
Yeah.
It's a whole bed. And she would do it.
She would. She'd fill it up.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
would.
So I didn't clean out the trunk.
Sure.
Right? Carly yesterday was like, I had to put stuff in the trunk.
Yeah.
And I go, what'd you have to put in the trunk? She's like, a couple books. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't clean out the trunk for
Yeah.
you. And she's like, yeah, if you could get some of your stuff out of there, that'd be great. I was like, yeah, sorry, forgot about
okay.
that. I cleaned out the rest of the car, but so it is just one of those things like you don't realize how much stuff when they move in, or just a person. It doesn't have to be a wife. It's just a person. Like I had knives, you know, I always got to have a knife on me. So I was finding knives in my car.
Yeah.
When I was cleaning it out, I was like, oh, that's where that one went.
Oh, that's my backup knife for
That's
my normal
That's
knife.
my stabbing knife.
Yeah. I
So,
got my stabbing. I got my picking. I got my.
Yeah, I got one for cutting, one for
Carving.
stabbing, one for carving, one for chopping. So, but anyway, got all my stuff out, got everything ready.
Really
Yeah.
quick,
Starting to
Anthony's been
weed.
He's
waiting
he's
for
been
this.
asking
Oh, sorry.
several times.
What do you
so I
think of
wanted to
Turtle
make
Wax?
sure.
Turtle Wax
It's good,
is
man. It's really good.
It is
Turtle
good.
Wax makes good stuff.
Now
So-
especially. compared
Sorry,
to
we're not trying to
before.
rush you. We're just saying,
Yeah.
we just
It's
you've
good,
been waiting
man.
for a
We
while.
really like it.
So
So,
continue.
but anyway, so got that all set up, and she's driving the car, and we'll see what happens with the red car. Kevin yesterday said we're about 3 months on repairs. So it'll be about 90 days to get that car back.
That's most body shops these days.
Yeah.
Everything is backed up.
So my mom is right at about 8 weeks. He said he's been rushing to try and get her car done. He's hoping he'll have it done this week for her, and she'll be at almost the 8-week mark.
Yeah.
7 to 8 weeks to get her car back. And so he's like, your car, because of how many more pieces are smashed and damaged, he's like, the biggest hurdle is just getting stuff
Yeah.
in a timely manner, getting the parts in a timely manner, or if they can find the parts. So
Which is weird to
That's-
think. I mean, it's a Camry from a relatively recent vintage. You think there would be plentiful parts supply for those.
we'll
There's
see.
so many in every country around
Fingers
the world.
crossed that car gets done in 2 months and we're good. But I literally had
Yeah.
to prepare the Elantra to be lived in for the next couple months. And then I drove the red truck thinking, well, I'll start driving the red truck to save a little gas money
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
Suburban. And I drove the red truck to go get some snacks, warmed it up, fired it up. It was running good. Drove it to Albertsons, grabbed some snacks, hopped in it, and wouldn't.
How long between
Fire.
that driving it and when you drove it prior?
It's been about 3 months.
Okay, so it just sat a long time. The
Yeah.
batteries.
Spray a little cart cleaner
So
in there.
yeah, so I didn't bring any of that.
Yeah.
So I
Recharge
called
the battery.
Carly. She came and got me
Yeah.
with Watson. I put all the groceries in. I left the car there at Albertsons.
You need a little jumper
So then
kit.
yesterday morning, I drove over to Albertsons, hopped in, truck fired right up. I was like, sweet.
Heck yeah.
Should I drive this home? Then I got to ride my bike. It's cold. So I've moved it
Yeah.
farther out into the parking lot, right? So away from everybody.
Yeah.
Just parked it there. Thought I'll come back after work and I'll drive it home
Yeah.
Sure.
and leave the Suburban, and then I can have Carly or I can ride my bike and come
Yeah.
pick up the Suburban. Go to the grocery store, grab the things I need for dinner, come out. Won't start. Leave the truck there. So this morning I put gas in it and put a little extra gas in the gas can so I can pour some down the
So,
carburetor.
ladies and gentlemen, there is a Titleist Chevy
Oh, my God.
truck sitting in the Albertsons parking lot
Oh,
in
my God.
East Boise that is up for taking, right?
Park Center and Apple.
Yeah.
I was
There's no
going to say,
keys, though.
how much time is left on that, or is it just totally it's just kaput?
What's kaput?
Well, I mean, registration.
The title
Yeah.
issue?
What do you mean?
The story of the truck is that you can't sell it because it's
I can't sell it because I don't have a title. I can't register it because I don't have a title.
right. So how
And-
much
and you
life
bought it
is
from a
left on
crackhead.
that time span?
Of the title or the registration? What's
Is
left
it-
of the
I'm asking, is it road legal right now?
No.
Okay.
It hasn't been road legal in like 6 months,
There we
Dane.
go.
Dane.
8 months.
Dane, it is legal.
It's legal as long as they
Depending
don't
on
pull
where
you
live,
over.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not that
We're
big
not
of a
too
deal.
C.
We were talking
This
about
isn't
it. We were
Emmett.
talking about it yesterday, and like most cops don't even check your registration.
technically they can't pull you over for registration anymore here
Right,
in the state. There's a rule.
They have
where
to have
can't-
something
they have
else to knock you
cause.
on. In fairness,
so
that truck might exhibit other
that is
qualities.
absolutely hilarious, though. So if you can start it, you can keep it, right?
There's a can of gas sitting on the floor
But
in case someone wants to light it on fire.
Oh, man.
anyway, so anything else to wrap up your weekend?
No, that was it. So I'm hopefully going to start driving the red truck again illegally.
There you go.
And then, because that's the way I like to roll, it makes me feel good.
Riding
you know?
dirty.
I feel like I'm winning at the
We're
system.
not, guys.
We're not
just because
condoning.
just because we do this podcast doesn't mean that we're angels and we always follow the rules. We don't. I mean, and we're not saying that you should you should
It's
do
like
the
Joey
same.
Malinsky said, it's only illegal if you get caught, right?
We're just saying that we're only human, right?
Yeah.
Make mistakes, and that's okay. Dane.
At a certain point, you're doing it on purpose. Anyway.
Dane, it's fine. How did your weekend look?
My weekend was nothing to report on Friday or Saturday. Normal stuff I've been doing.
Do you want to
Gonna go
borrow
for
the red
walk, you
truck
do the
for
thing.
the next couple weeks? Because you could if
No,
you need it.
I'm good without the
store it at your
liability,
house,
but
Dane?
thanks.
Park it at your place?
Yeah, no, if you want to park it at my house, you can. I got an extra space for you, but yeah, if you're tired of looking at it in your driveway,
No,
or
it's
something.
a good truck. I like looking at
But
it.
as long as I can make it up my driveway. Yeah, but on Sunday morning, my story is very short. Sunday morning, I woke up. Hence the rude awakening to the smell of burning electronics.
Ooh,
I just kind of woke up. I was like, "Am I having a stroke?" Like I was worried. I was like,
Yeah,
"Smell
you're
burnt
like, these
toast"
are
kind of thing. And you're
almonds.
just like,
Yeah.
"What's going on?"
little fried
And
circuit.
looking around, Liz is already up doing something else. I'm like, okay.
Maybe she's
Should try to
cooking
make
something.
like toast in our weird toaster that makes weird smells because it barely gets used and then it gets all dust. It's a bad toaster. Anyway, need to get rid of that thing.
Full of dust? Is that what you said?
It literally, for some reason,
full of
this
dust?
toaster is just like when I fired it up one day, I was like, I'm not putting bread in that.
Dane, so then why do you keep it? Why don't you
it's-
toss the
it's-
toaster?
You can take a toaster too out onto your deck, and you can shake
Shake
all the
out
stuff out of it.
Oh,
It's
well
open
aware.
at the top.
It's-
You can literally
it's
just
hilarious.
shake it.
No,
and it
like
has
a
a
Callie
tray.
hair when he looks down in there.
It's like, oh, just full of dog hair.
full of dog hair.
That's what you're smelling.
Yeah.
So based on the 5 experiences I have with that toaster, I decided, okay, maybe it's that. Maybe that's what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
So it's just like burnt electronic smell. And as I'm walking over to the railing to like look down and look around, it's like, okay, there's nobody down there. I'm like, hon? Everything okay down there? Or like, you smell that? And I think she was on her computer. She had headphones on, didn't hear me. So then I kind of get worried. And then she comes out and she's like, what the hell's going on? And then she walks out. The kitchen, smoke. Just
Oh,
smoke
wow.
all around the kitchen like a haze. The sunlight's hitting it. And you're like, oh, there's
God.
clearly smoke in this room. That's not good.
that's
That's
fire.
concerning. That's yikes. So that was a little freaky. And then immediately, like, she gets anxiety and stuff. And I'm like, a little bit more cooler heads prevail on this thing. So I'm just like, well, hold on before we freak out about this and think the house is on fire. Try and, figure out. Let's check
So
all
look
the
and see
appliances.
if there's any flames.
Let's sit down and talk
No,
about
no, no.
this.
So I'm like, all right, first things first, evaluate all the appliances in the kitchen. That's because that's where the smoke is. It's not coming from anywhere else in the house. It's in the kitchen. So walking around, check the stove. It's fine. All these things are plugged in. Unplug the toaster, unplug the coffee machine, other stuff. Look behind the fridge. Check everything else, dishwasher. All the appliances are plugged in, but they're operational and they're not making smoke. Like you can open it
Yeah.
up and check. It's like there's nothing in there. They're not even warm. It's fine. So then the question
Wires
becomes,
aren't on.
okay, why is there smoke in here? Was there like a weird electrical issue, like a socket decided to freak out, something was plugged into it that shouldn't have been? I hadn't done anything recently, so it's like racking my brain trying to figure out. I'm like, furnace maybe? And so then I run downstairs and I check in the garage, totally clear. There's no smoke in the garage or anything, but that's where the furnace is and the water heater and stuff. And run over and find that, okay, there's a blinking red light in the furnace, and you kind of figure like, okay, there's always a light blinking in there. I can't remember if it's normally green or red though. So I'm like, let me just feel it. Okay, it's pretty warm. I turn off the breaker on it, and then I turn it back on to listen to it cycle. Because I remembered you and Anthony Blaine going
Yeah.
through your thing with your, flame going out. And in my case, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen because I can tell when the fan runs versus when the flame happens versus when this stuff happens. And there was kind of an electrical hum going on, but at the same time, it didn't sound totally out of place. I couldn't remember hearing it before, but I was like, maybe I just forgot or something that it made that sound. But I sat there and waited for it to cycle up. And I could hear, the kind of air supply first and the kind of priming sound and then the flame going. And okay, the flame's going. And the flame went for a good 2 minutes. I had it set on the thing. I'm like, okay, so it's not just immediately flaming out or something.
Yeah.
So, But then all of a sudden I hear a yell from upstairs while I'm down in the garage doing this, like, there's more smoke and there's a smell. I'm like, okay, so this is
It's coming from the furnace.
probably the culprit. Because the way it is my garage is directly underneath my kitchen. And the furnace in there, the first place in the ducting it goes is the kitchen floor because it just works its way up. So it's like, okay, that's probably the first stop.
And where you sleep is on the third floor.
I'm on the third floor on like a loft thing. So like I'm far removed from the other stuff. It's just, you can smell it, but I had to have time to build to that point. And there wasn't like smoke in the air where I was.
Yeah.
I was just getting the faint
You
hints
were
of
finally
it.
catching it.
Yeah. So she said, the smell's back and there's a little bit of smoke. It's like, oh, crap. So, yeah, we open all the windows, cycle stuff through. And, of course, she's, like, terrified the house is going to burn
Right.
down.
She's packing her
and, like,
stuff.
I get that. Like, she's just like, And it's like, okay, well, let's figure this out. And so I turn off the breaker and I'm feeling around the furnace like, okay, where's it hot? Where's it not?
Yeah.
And I take off the door and I'm looking around. And I can't see anything immediately obvious, but it was just off. Something seemed off. So I called up Anthony Blaine, having recently heard of your debacle.
Yeah, he's a great
And
HVAC
I was
specialist.
like, hey, I'm not bugging you right now, am I? I just want to ask you a question. He's like, no, yeah, man, shoot. And he's like out for a walk with the dog and the kids and stuff. And I can clearly tell, like, he's trying to do other things. I'm like, really, if I'm bothering you, just let me know. But, he walked me through it. And from what we could gather, he figured, I think your fan motor might have blown out. Like, it may have, like, heated, combusted or something, and then just sent all the, burnt electronics smell through. That would explain that smell. Because burning electronics smell unique.
Right.
There's a metallic, tinge
Kind of a
to everything.
toastery smell to it.
Yeah, real dusty toaster smell to it.
Yeah, dusty
So
toast.
Very
classic
full of
dusty
dog hair.
toaster.
Toaster full
So
of dog
that
hair.
is stuff to look out for. But yeah, so that was his deduction without me like pulling the whole thing apart. He was just like listening to it through the phone and like trying to give him all the steps of what I experienced, and that was his guess. So it was Sunday. I couldn't have a tech come out there without the stupid emergency line thing causing like a really big expense. So I'm like, well, if I turn the breaker off, I feel like the danger is not there right now. We just need to grab a couple space heaters from Home Depot and we'll be good for the time being, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, my fake fireplace that I got upstairs is a space heater. I just never really used it for that.
So now you can.
So I found out it works great. It keeps the whole house warm. I was like, wow, that does a lot. So that was a pleasant surprise.
I told Dane,
But,
I said he could borrow my propane tank top heater.
And I said,
It
thanks,
puts-
I'm
it
trying
puts
not to
out
burn my house down right
45,000
now.
BTU. I said he'd be fine. Dane, just crack a window.
Sassy would find a spot to get as close to that as she could.
Yeah, no,
Oh
that thing
my
would
God.
put out an insane.
Yeah.
It would
Singed
it would
on
light
one
that
side.
candles. What that would do, man.
It's so just, So anyway, got that part figured out. Left a online appointment for my guy to come by and like check that stuff out. And sure enough, yesterday, while we were here doing our, tech talk, I was getting updates on my phone of Liz talking with the tech and like, sure enough, fan motor blew out. That's exactly what happened. Good job, Anthony Blaine. And he was piecing it together. And Anthony's like, what do you think that'll be? A couple $100, something like that? And I'm like, yeah, I hope, if it's kind of steep, like $400 or $500. And it's like anybody who's been in this situation, unless you're doing the work yourself, HVAC is insane. Like
No.
just the cost of stuff, you're like, it can't cost that much. There's no way it costs that much. And I chose the second lowest option they gave me, and it was still like $1,300. So
Jeez.
that was not cheap.
That's
I
a
do
Honda
not
Civic
enjoy
right there.
that.
It is. That's one Honda Civic.
And I have a warranty that if the whole thing were to go kaput, I could have the whole thing replaced. But because it's a part, that's not part of the deal. So, so that was my exciting little Sunday experience. Just
So I got
doing that.
I got $6,000 in damages this weekend. You got
Yeah.
$1,300 in damages.
and it's like
this
clockwork
weekend.
because remember, year prior I had all the water damage.
Yeah, it's perfect
happened around this time of
timing.
year, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go through that again. But apparently, to be fair, as I found out from the tech, he said, well, this fan motor was 10 years old. It didn't exhibit
Okay.
any signs prior being damaged or anything like that. And he goes, I did find like a lot of kind of like dust and stuff in here just because and I mentioned the previous owner had pets too. So yeah, it makes sense to accumulate over time. He goes, it wasn't giving any signs before because he was the same tech who worked on it prior.
Yeah.
Like probably 4 or 5 months before he had worked on this. But unless you're cracking it open, you can't see what's in the fan and that stuff. And you're not doing that on a normal maintenance thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes, honestly, it probably was, getting around that time where based on the dust and stuff on it, it wasn't like the worst I've ever seen. He goes, but this is the second one I've seen this year already of somebody having a fan motor blow out like that. So he goes, you're not alone. Like, replace that. And apparently when it did, oil exploded out like all around the inside of the thing. So part of that cost was his cleanup, of
shell,
cleaning up everything, putting a new shell in there and the motor and the other stuff. So that's where some of the expense. I imagine still it only cost him and the company like maybe $300-400 to do all the parts and everything included, and then everything else is just gravy. But hey, you know what? It's done.
Labor.
It's done. Yeah. And I'm happy to have a good functioning house. And boy, it was nice and toasty today. Everything works just like it should.
It's fun when your furnace starts working. You start cranking that bad boy up. You're like, I don't care if I'm going to be sweaty. I just want to feel it working.
Yeah. So resolved that issue.
Excellent.
I'm very happy to say. But you never know. Could strike at any time.
Good.
Anthony, how was your weekend?
Yeah, what you got?
Anytime. My weekend was pretty good. Friday night, watched this movie called The Menu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Best movie this year.
That's what I did on Saturday. Did watch that, loved it.
Yeah.
I think it was cheap.
He did not care for it as much
as we did. I think it was a cheap movie. However,
I thought it was
I'm not
fun
saying
movie.
It's not meant to be a high budget
movie. I don't
movie.
think it's a bad movie. I think it's a good movie.
Did that cheeseburger look good?
Oh my God, the cheeseburger looks so
extra
good.
I thought the s'mores looked delicious as well.
Yeah, great s'mores.
I would say that movie, in a nutshell, is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I think it's a good time. But you kind of got to be in that mindset. And there's a lot of interrupting that goes on in that movie that stresses me out as a person watching it. Because
they did a good job with that.
They do a lot of interrupting. And I go, please stop interrupting. Like, let me
It's
process.
building tension is what it's doing. And it
just makes me more angry. And
like,
it makes you more anxious.
So what I liked about the anxiety building on that was the fact that they would that one, the hostess lady kept coming up to her and going, "You're not supposed to be here."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's very
kind of
aggressive,
kind of mean.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're not who you're supposed to be." And they kept stating that over and over, and I didn't know the payoff, but it made sense to go, "Oh,
yeah,
that's why."
Yeah, without spoiling anything, there's a point.
It was it made sense as to why they were all of a sudden all agitated about her being there.
Yes, and going into the movie, you're expecting some kind of twist or something interesting, but the way they did it was honestly different than at least I expected, and I loved how it paid off. But felt the same way.
Anyway, I thought it felt cheap. I thought that the lines were pretty bad. I think that the writing, the script itself wasn't that great.
It's intentionally satirical. It's like if you watch the show Succession.
I know.
You probably would enjoy this.
I know. I don't know. Is what it is. Watch that. I asked Katie, I said, how do you feel about this movie? And she goes, wouldn't watch it again. But you know who would like this movie? I said, who? She's like, Dane. Dane would love this movie. She's like, this is a Dane movie. And I go, this, in fact, is a Dane movie.
I watched it. I loved it. And I said, Dane's going to love this.
Yeah. Yep. And so it's funny that my wife can identify movies that Katie she doesn't like. But she'll go, but Dane would like this. Mm-hmm. And I agreed. And so anyways, so that was a Friday night. Then Saturday was actually a beautiful day, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the weather, but
I washed my truck.
We hit 50 degrees.
Yeah, I washed the Suburban.
And so middle of the day, I remember I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to tackle? Because this day is so nice. I actually ended up going on a motorcycle ride. I just jumped on the bike and went for a quick cruise, put some gas in it. And my goal was to ride both bikes because...
it's
like a horse. You got to dust the dust off.
Dane does the same thing.
Cycle. You got to heat cycle everything.
And so I ride the one, fill it up with gas, kind of cruise around for a little bit, get back home, and then I go to start the other one. The other one's just completely dead. I mean, just nothing left. And here's the problem. It doesn't have any gas in it, and it also the battery needs to be charged. But it's one of those weird lithium proprietary batteries that it weighs like half a pound.
Yeah.
So I have to figure out what my plan is for that. So we did that, and then I'm trying to think. And then Saturday we did a couple other things. I don't remember what the heck I did, but I remember I made crushed cardboard on the side of the house. Right.
Like fun.
Breaking down
Christmas cardboard.
I have a pile I need to go through, but I have it all in the back of my truck bed.
Yeah, this is all from Christmas that has
Could it
been
go in the Jarl's
piling up.
No, it can't.
This is what I've been doing.
Burning cardboard in front of my house.
But, right?
You could be that neighbor.
But so when Christmas came around and Katie was just handing me a bunch of boxes, right? Hey, do something with this. It was too cold and snowy to go do anything, so I just walked to my side yard and throw it over my fence, and I'll be like, I'll get to that later, right?
Later.
I don't know when,
yeah.
but
well,
later.
the nice thing is all the weather has softened.
It did.
So you can just stomp on stuff.
Nothing is better than being able to wedge in softened cardboard than try to cut it all up and manually. So,
Joey.
And Joey says, anyone else spend 35 minutes watching an under the hood RSX footage this weekend? That's crazy.
Wow. Who would do that?
That's a weird thing.
That's a half hour of power is what that is, though. So, but no, I ended up doing that, and then I did some more stuff around the house, and whatever it was. I can't even really remember. It kind of went by pretty fast. And then Sunday, which was, gosh, I'm trying to think. I have to go back through my photos on Sunday. Sunday was actually another day. I think around the house that was pretty chill. I kind of hung out with my daughter. We played a bunch of stuff, played with a bunch of stuff, and then I did a test fit of my new wheels on my car just to make sure they look good. They do look good. I don't have any photos. I don't want anybody to see it yet, but I think it will look pretty fancy once that's all said and done. But what was really funny is last night. My sister's in town, the one that runs the Dutch Bros in Oceanside, and she's in town with her husband. And I haven't seen my brother-in-law for literally 10 months, and then I haven't seen my sister. Came around in December, but I was excited because they go, hey, we want to go to Tupelo Honey tonight, right? Mm-hmm. And Tupelo Honey, which I believe is a chain, I believe there's other places around, but it is a very not hip. Southern style. You've been there, right? You haven't been. It's a hip Southern style. I don't know how to describe it.
If you know the type, you'll see Instagram memes about the kind of people who are fans of Etsy that would go to a place like this.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe. If you want to stereotype in your mind what that looks like, kind of like that.
Okay. So
Southern
all I know is it replaced quite possibly the best restaurant.
I love the Piper, and I'm so mad it's gone.
Yeah. So I do remember what I did on Sunday, but I'll continue with this. So going to this restaurant, I remember telling my wife, I said, listen, because it's downtown, right?
Yeah.
I said, this is a small complaint, right? But I can't stand when people invite me to restaurants or events downtown that don't understand or maybe not don't understand, that invite me to places downtown that just expect me to find parking like it's not a big deal. Right?
It's not a big deal. You just pull in a parking garage.
Levi.
There's a number of ample parking sites all around Boise.
In a downtown
Dane and I have no issues.
Stresses
I find street parking like a magician.
Too.
It's weird.
Me too.
No.
You know what I say? I say this is my little chant. I say, I take what is given unto me.
Ooh. So you will do that, right? But you know what Anthony does when I drive around? Yeah. I drive and I see a parking spot and I go, I have a weird gut feeling that I shouldn't park here.
Right. Something bad is going to happen to my car if I park here.
So I continue to drive around for another freaking 15 minutes. And then I go, there's a spot right there. And then I see something out of the corner of my eye. It's like a man, breaking a bicycle lock, and I go,
a hot dog cart with a non-functioning brake.
Is he stealing that bike or is he just...
No, he has keys in his hand.
He's
unlocking it.
But he does look kind of sketchy.
So he might ride his bike into my car.
Gut feeling... not going to park there, right? So I continue trying to...
You could just park on the top floor of every parking garage in the city.
Just drive your meter truck and not worry about it.
I have to pay for it, and then I have to... who am I being compensated by for my parking, right? I like free parking. I don't have to pay for parking. It's stupid. And then sometimes the times I haven't paid for parking, I get a ticket.
Well, yeah.
I went to go get sunglasses one time. I was in and out of Proof Eyewear in 15 minutes.
Dang.
I got a ticket within that 15 minutes for $75.
But they have a button you can push 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a free 20 minutes. Right?
I'm just saying, if you invite me to go out to eat, never invite me downtown. And I'm usually always in, right? Yeah. I will ask you, does it have a parking lot? Yes, it has a parking lot. That's accessible? That's attached to the restaurant? Yes. Oh, I'm in. I'm down.
So see, here's where the reason I don't have any issues. One, I'm not worried about the cars getting damaged, but Alex is right. You can park at the
Yes.
beautiful Home to Suites by Hilton. Tell
That
them who
is
you
true.
are to avoid payment and walk where you need.
They
That
love
is
us.
true. I
could park there.
might actually be able to get away with that. But what I was going to say, though, is we went to this, on the way to this, we had this discussion about the parking thing. I can't believe it. My wife is on the same page as me. She's like, oh, yeah, I hate having to go places downtown that don't have parking. I said,
yeah.
sweet. But then I was like in her car, and I noticed that her windshield has like this weird like film on it, right? Like something's been sprayed. And I go, what is on your windshield as we're driving at nighttime, seeing a light flash? And she goes, I think I just got some overspray on it. And I remember a couple days ago, I pay pretty close attention to her car.
Right.
I went into the garage to grab something out of it. And I open up the door and I go, this car's cleaner than I think it should be right now on the inside.
Something's
right?
different.
You cleaned it.
And I said, this car is clean. Yeah, it's just something that's cleaner in here. It's normally not, just doesn't look this clean without me doing it, right?
So you were like, she's seeing another detailer.
So when we were driving, I said, what's this overspray from? She's like, oh, I sprayed some stuff on my dash. I go,
What
you sprayed
kind of
what
stuff?
stuff on your dash, right? She goes, I just had to clean the dust off. And I go, Katie, I need to be very clear with you right now.
What did you spray on the dash?
What did you spray on the dash and what is on the window? And she goes, I don't know, Anthony. It was just the purple stuff. And I said, purple stuff. I had to clear my throat. The purple stuff? What's the purple stuff, right? And she goes, like the Miss Myers, the house cleaner.
Stuff
And
you get at Costco.
I go, you sprayed house cleaner on the inside of this vehicle? She's like, yeah, I just wiped everything down with the house cleaner.
It does so good
and
on,
she's like,
on
she's
wood
like,
and tile.
Just like all
and
those detailers who don't want to spend
countertop
money on detailing
surfaces.
products.
and she's like, yeah, and she's like, and I got it on the window, and it's not that big of a deal. And I go, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm like, all right, it's a diluted product. I probably diluted it. It's probably fine, right? For the most part, right? It's still stressing me out a little bit. And then she goes, well, also too, I did vacuum my carpets. And I go, vacuum your carpets with what? She goes, I use your shop vac. And I said, my shop vac is securely next to a set of wheels that are very delicate that are right there. You're telling me you pulled that shop vac out without hitting my wheels? And she goes, well, I don't know. And I go,
what? They're wheels.
and I go, oh, good God. And so I'm already getting stressed out. So she says she vacuums her carpets, right? But then, as a cherry on top, we bought this stuff called Angry Orange. It's an enzymatic oil-based cleaner,
Right.
oil-based like a scent remover or whatever it is.
Right.
That we bought it just to get the smell out of this used carpet we bought that smelled like dogs, right?
Yeah.
And I bought it solely for that. And then she tells me, she's like, yeah, I took this oil-based whatever it is thing. It's basically orange oil, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, and I sprayed all my carpets down with it. And I said, Katie, no. And
She goes, you use it on carpet.
She's like, you use it on the carpet. I said, yes, but you don't understand. That's a carpet that I know is going to get traction and get dirty. That is not what that's supposed to be used for. And she goes, well, I just figured it was going to be fine, dude. And she's like, this is your fault for not cleaning my car more often. And I go, I do clean your car more often. Just I'm like, Katie, if you were to tell me, hey, I'm about to spray Myers cleaner inside my car and then spray everything down with
you would
Angry
clean
Orange,
that
right?
so fast.
I would get up so fast. I would clean it any time of the day, right? To avoid you doing that. Because, again, it creates more
Now
work
I have
for
to
me
clean the
long-term.
car to clean all that stuff out.
So
Steam all that oil out of there.
I did ask her, so what towels did you use? She's like, I don't know. I just grabbed a towel that was on your workbench. Most of the towels that are on my workbench are either covered in oil, right? Or
Brake
or
dust
have some type
metal
of
shavings.
like tire dressing on them sometimes.
right.
Sometimes they're
Yeah.
towels that are just beat that have, they could also have like brake cleaner in them.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. My towels that sit on my workbench are not like my grab and go clean towels. They're usually there because it's in their final
So you know what
phase
you have to
before
do
I
now?
toss them.
They're
You know
having
what
to
you're
air
gonna have
out
to-
because they're
No,
flammable.
but you know what you're gonna have
right
to do
now?
now? Grab some of those plastic bottles we got in there,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to write on them
Yeah.
dash cleaner,
Yeah.
carpet cleaner, and
It's
set
all-
them and
it's
set
all
them right
O&R
by the
and absolute.
Yeah, and set them right by the car, like where she parks, and go, Katie, these are your bottles. If you want to clean the car, and you set some towels for her, and she goes, well, I don't want to have to use them, and you go, just in case. These are sacrificial products that can sit, and yes, O&R and absolute, and you don't have to worry about it because they're going to wipe everything down and be good.
Yeah.
I have to do that. I have that on one side. I have a bottle literally of O&R,
Yeah.
and I keep a few towels, and I've said, if you need it, this is what this is for.
Oh dear.
And she goes, okay. And if I use it, then I get in trouble.
Those things will collect dust, though. Like
I know they will, but they're
I
there.
know, so I can't have them there, right? If they're not going to be used. So
Well, maybe you use them.
Put them in the laundry room
yeah, I guess I can
and
do
say,
that.
hey, here's your stuff. If you need to use it, clean the car. If Lucy throws up,
Yeah.
if one of the dogs or whatever, you spill coffee, here's
Who
it
knows?
is.
All I know
But you
is
give her an
that
option.
That was like, I couldn't believe how much of a punch to the stomach that was to hear. Like, because I'm like trying not to be mad because I know she means well. She meant well.
Right, she was
She
trying to
just
clean
wanted
her
to
car.
wipe down her car. I
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it. But it's me. I'm her husband. You could just say, hey, what do I use?
have one of the craziest. I'm married to one of the craziest
she of all
detailers
people
on the planet.
should know.
More
You know that.
cows
She's
and
got
more
one of them right
chemicals,
here.
right, than anybody, right, in probably a 10-mile radius from my house. I have it all. What do you want to do, right?
I mean, Alex is just
we can
saying,
party if you
lock
want
the
to party.
garage.
So,
Yeah, she's lost her garage privileges.
anyways, so just super funny. So last night, after she went to bed after dinner was okay. But after she went to bed, I went out there. I grabbed what did I grab? I grabbed Polestar. I grabbed Topstar. I grabbed my towels. I grabbed
Some brushes.
Coach Kimmy glass cleaner, and I said, "All right." I'm like examining. What did she touch? Because I asked her. I said, "What did you wipe down?" She goes, "I don't remember."
Right.
And I go, "Okay, we're gonna have to start from scratch
Yeah,
here."
That
detective.
definitely
So,
sounds like something I
scan
would.
grip headlights pops on.
Start jumping in, dude. Polestar, Topstar, glass cleaner. I'm doing it all. I did not touch the carpets yet because I'm afraid to feel them. If I feel the oil
Burnt.
on my fingers,
Crusty.
I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So which means it's an extraction job at that point because I got to get that out of. They're brand new carpets.
Yeah.
I mean, the carpets I take good care of them. They're
Yeah,
never really
she just
got
filled them with
dirty.
oil.
So you're not really just
Now they're
cleaning
just filled
dirt
with
now.
oil.
Now you're cleaning out wrong cleaning products.
Yeah. Anyway, so but yeah, so I hope some of you guys can relate to my experiences there. But lastly, I will leave you with this. On Sunday night I did watch The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah, because I wouldn't shut up about it.
Which could be my new favorite show.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's like
pilot
it's
alone
everything I
is
want. It's so heavy.
good.
The pilot is so heavy. You have to prepare yourself, but I didn't know I wanted this series as bad as I do. It's crazy. So if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Well, and you never played the game, right?
So I have seen the game be played. I've watched
I've
reviews
never
on the game.
played it or anything.
I never played it mainly for the fact I had a PlayStation. I still have now. I have a PlayStation.
Yeah, now you
again.
could if you
Now
wanted
I could if
to.
I wanted to, but it was always how heavy that game was because the story is very heavy. Then also, the actual game itself.
Yeah.
But now that I'm seeing this show, I go, how can I learn more about this show faster than I would than waiting for this series?
Yeah.
It's by playing the game. So, anyways.
So if you're into that kind of thing, like, it's worth checking out. Like, the quality is so high already, just right out the gate. Totally worth checking out. Who knows if they'll do a good job with it ultimately, but right now, amazing start. And
Yeah.
we got a few folks writing in here.
so
Oh,
funny.
no. I mean,
Forerunner
hey,
interior detailing video.
there are definitely lady detailers with annoying husbands, too. So we can't fault everybody here.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
a few.
definitely more than a few of
There's
those
a
we've
few
seen.
that we've met. So, no. Anyway, she means well. Maybe I'll have to give her a class on what to use. But at the same time, I get it, dude. If you look at my cart and you go,
You don't know.
You don't know. There's literally on the cart itself. There's like 40 chemicals, right?
Well,
And
the names don't necessarily tell you what they do.
And then if I go to explain to somebody, I say that doesn't know anything. Hey, so this chemical does this, and this, but can also be used as this as a tip,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. You
Pro
gotta give
tip.
her just like
Yeah,
you're
their
gonna have to give her,
eyes
like, 2 or
glaze
3
over.
glass cleaner. This.
No,
this,
I would
and
just
fill them all with O&R
say
and put them on the
everything would
counter.
just be O&R or Absolute with distilled water, and I would just say,
Yeah.
give it a shake, spray, wipe, done, move on.
Literally on the label, you just write, you can't F this
You
up.
can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. It's a perfect system. So, anyways, that was my weekend. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for
Yeah.
today's podcast. I know she's probably listening to this, being like, Anthony, I hate
So
you.
rude.
Katie, it's not your
calling-
fault. I gave him an
your
option.
fault.
All you got to do is make some bottles of product.
That's true.
Man.
for her. So, Dane, take us home.
All right. Well, as you know, thank you to everybody who watched this episode live, and to those of you watching in the future, if you haven't already, all of you, please take a moment, click that like button before we go here. It really helps us out, helps expand the reach of the channel, which we are trying to do here on the Rag Company podcast channel, because we have all our shows that are more of a podcast-centric thing, including the Q&A, happening here now. So, if you don't want to miss it, you got to be here. You got to be liking it, and you got to be subscribed so that you don't miss it. And make sure you tell other folks about it too. We're going to really build this up. And on the main channel, you'll find more of the detailing-centric videos there. This is more of the talking stuff. So depending on what you like, it's all there for you, laid out nice and clear. Anyway, that's it, guys. So till later this week on the Q&A on this channel. We'll see you in a little while. Take care.
Bye, guys.
See ya.